What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, if you've been a fan of the genre for a while or followed channels like mine, you realize at this point we've had a leak in one way or another for every single film and or Disney Plus series coming up in Marvel Phase 4, whether it be an anonymous 4chan plot leak or a detailed industry insider expose. Either way, there have been a ton of rumors of X-Men and almost for every single series. We're going to take the time to chronicle every report, go film by film and Disney Plus series by Disney Plus series, explain which X-Men is rumored to show up there, talk about where the report came from and contextualize it a little bit with what we already know about the series, and of course issue the normal spoiler warning. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So first off, quickly, spoiler warning, because some of these reports are coming from trusted industry insiders and some are coming from anonymous 4chan leaks. Either way, they sometimes have equal chances of being right, and if this is in any way going to ruin Marvel Phase 4, the Disney Plus series, or any of the upcoming Marvel Studios releases for you, if you want to go in with fresh ideas about where the X-Men may show up, you might want to back out now, otherwise you've been warned. We already know from Marvel Studios, based on what Kevin Feige and by extension the rest of the brass have told us, that they did at some point want to cross over the initial Marvel Cinematic Universe with the already existing Fox X-Men universe, and that's why I want to start in particular with some of the earliest reports about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, believe it or not, and even though I said there was no way they were going to do this, it does appear as though Marvel Studios at some point not only met with Hugh Jackman, but also Patrick Stewart, and actually did discuss the possibility of them reprising their roles. That ties into the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness earliest rumors that the multiverse would do just that and bridge the gap between some of those old Fox X-Men and the current MCU. But we now know those doors have been officially shut, pun not intended at all. They've left the roles, they've retired for good, and we won't be seeing any of those Fox X-Men show up. That's why I wanted to start with those earliest rumors about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And if you've watched my channel before, you know we have a bit of a running joke here that if even half the characters who are rumored to show up in this film actually do, it'll be the most insanely packed Marvel movie we've ever seen, in spite of the fact of the existence of Endgame. And moving on from there, I want to go directly into Captain Marvel 2, which is a bit of a ways away, but has been rumored to have 2 of the main X-Men show up. One coming specifically from industry insider and friend of the channel Mikey Sutton, explaining how Rogue will show up during Captain Marvel and make good on a couple of key points, not only for Captain Marvel but Rogue's story as well, and it is an excellent opportunity to cross her over. There's also another report out there from earlier in the year that possibly Wolverine could show up in Captain Marvel 2 as well. Now, we've heard also from Roger Wardell that Wolverine will indeed be showing up during Marvel Phase 4, but not in Captain Marvel 2, that he'd actually show up in Black Panther. Not only that, we did a report on this real recently. I'll make sure to link that video at the end of this, but it would be Shuri who would be providing Wolverine his nanotech Antarctic costume, which I can only begin to wonder why they'd be there. We've reported on Savage Land, maybe crossing over against Sabretooth, but either way, Wolverine now rumored for both Captain Marvel 2 and Black Panther 2. Now, switching gears completely over to Shang-Chi, which is set to come out a little bit sooner than both of those, and we did a full report on this months and months ago. This is another video I'll make sure to link at the end of this if you guys want to go a little more in depth into these specific leaks. But as long as we can remember now, they've been talking about this martial arts style tournament for the 10 rings, and that's rumored to have the inclusion of Psylocke. Now think about it, guys, we've named 3 for 3 here and already talked about the inclusion of 4 X-Men, and that doesn't count the ones that we know are coming for sure via Cable in Deadpool 3 or the brand new Deadpool reboot. Now, there is a huge question as to whether Josh Brolin is going to continue to play Cable, if this will even be the same version and or universe holdover from Deadpool. If that's why the MCU thought maybe the easiest way to address this Fox universe, since they had to bring Deadpool over from there anyway, was instead of ignoring it, hit the nail on the head. Either way, we know that Deadpool is coming, and if he retains any semblance of the cast that he had from before, of course Josh Brolin's Cable or a recast would be present. And although Cable is more associated with X-Force and maybe even the New Mutants, he was also a member of the X-Men, and if I remember this correctly, right around the same time time there was the X-Men vs. Avengers. I know you guys will definitely correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe that's from the run that's in the early 2000s, right around 2012. Either way, the X-Men have had a long list of members that does include some fringe characters and or main players that joined later like Cable, but also has some classic members like those of Storm. Of course, the erroneous report earlier this week that was breaking, and I cited many sources that had reported that before me, but apparently Beyonce may not have a deal now, according to a Variety writer who didn't say the story was false, just that his sources were indicating that wasn't quite true yet. Either way, Storm has been rumored for quite a while to show up in Black Panther 2. Now, to be specific and very clear, she is from Cairo, she is not from Wakanda, but in the comics, she goes on to have an extensive relationship later with T'Challa, and via industry insider, again, Mikey Sutton, we're recently revealing the what could be Marvel wish list for the X-Men in the MCU that looked very similar to the giant size X-Men. Either way, Storm would be included in that, and regardless who's set up to play her, obviously she hasn't been cast just yet as we are far away from the wheels really turning on that production. Either way, and regardless of what lineup they choose to go with, you can bet there's going to be a Storm. It doesn't matter who's playing her or playing her just yet, and I think Black Panther 2 at this point looks like the most likely place to introduce her. But if it's also going to include Wolverine, it seems like that's going to be a pretty packed movie unless they're going to be introduced at the same time. Now let's switch over to two of the villains that have been rumored and or confirmed at this point, starting with the earliest in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the inclusion of classic X-Men and Wolverine villain Omega Red. Now this is coming from a plot leak very early in the year from someone who claimed to work on CGI for the episode, and we've already confirmed a ton of X-Men Easter eggs, especially a Madripoor, to be showing up during this series. So the plot leak itself seemed pseudo confirmed, and we definitely did a full breakdown. I can only link 3 videos at the end of this, and I know this video has tied a lot in, so maybe I can link this one in the description. Either way, it said this would lead to the inclusion of Omega Red, and that might show up as the first X-Men villain, and that was right before Marvel Comics decided to go ahead and reboot Omega Red versus Wolverine in their most recent run, maybe tying it all together and showing us, hey, here's Omega Red first. We're definitely going to introduce Wolverine somewhere down the road, and they'll cross over against each other, and this would be your first official X-Men villain, but not so fast. Again, third time now from industry insider Mikey Sutton, and this was included in his most recent X-Men reveal, that the first X-Men villain would be none other than the infamous Mr. Sinister, and that after facing off against Sauron, they would find that he was created at Mr. Sinister's hands. Now, we talked about this as well at the time, where Marvel Studios doesn't want to do things that have already been done. They did this with Spider-Man and making sure it was much different, only including what they needed to about his story and not rehashing what had failed over at Sony a couple of times. They're obviously going to take this approach with the X-Men, but I hope this has helped a little bit sort of clear up all of the rumors and industry insider leaks as to where these X-Men should be showing up, could be showing up, and what makes the most sense given what we already know about all the series. Guys, let me know your thoughts down below. How hype are you for the X-Men in the MCU? And of all of these we talked about today, which X-Men would you like to see first introduced and where? And are you for Wolverine having his own solo outing first before we see him show up as another character in someone else's movie? He's the one character I think deserves it since he hasn't had it before. But let me know all your thoughts down below quickly, guys, and let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark. We've given away a ton already this year here at the channel. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. And if you guys aren't familiar with collectibles or these pieces in general, they are no action figures. They are absolutely insane in scale and size. This one's almost 28 inches tall, and they are absolutely beautiful replicas of all your favorite Marvel characters. I've actually left a link down below in the description. We got this one from Gen Mint Collectible Stores, and he did a full-on review of this statue. So if you want to see this prize in a lot more depth and during a review from a guy who actually does those, then you can click it down in the description below. Either way, if you want to be entered to win either of the PlayStations, this Beta Ray Bill that we'll be giving away at 750,000 subscribers, or any of the other prizes we give away here at the channel, as we double down all the way up to 1 million. And once the movies kick back in, we'll be giving away a ton of tickets and DVDs as they start to come out over the next couple of years. If you want to be entered to win any of this stuff or going forward, all the same rules will always apply. hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, just like we're doing here, and if you've missed any of those previous winner announcements, and like I said, we've given away so many PlayStation 4 Pros already this year, I can't even count. No worries, all you have to do, go back through the channel, look for the winner announcement and the sub count in the title, click on that video, and scroll to the end. My name is Michael Roman. This is Everything Always, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.